Welcome to a little emergency edition of that SEC podcast. Breaking news here. We don't recover a lot of recruiting these days on the site here, but we're going to do it now because it's signing day signing period Wednesday through Friday, and we just had a huge domino fall here in the SEC as five-star quarterback Jared Curtis out of Nashville has flipped his commitment from Georgia. Now, it makes sense, right? Number one quarterback, five-star, going to Georgia. That makes sense. Not anymore. He's flipped it to the Commodores. Are we turnt in Vanderbilt here? I mean, this is wild. This is wild. Imagine 3-4 years ago saying the number one quarterback in the country would ever consider flipping from Georgia to Vanderbilt. You'd say, well, what the hell happened to Georgia? They must suck now. No, they're still the team to beat in the Southeastern Conference. But Vanderbilt has risen. Maybe this ain't just the Diego Pavia show. But hell, for all we know, Vanderbilt could be upgrading at quarterback, and they may have the Heisman Trophy winner this year. This is nuts. You know what this tells me? I mean, I think it's kind of obvious, right? But whatever they're paying Diego, and it's a lot, they just said, all right, let's transfer that to old Jared Curtis here, number one quarterback prospect in the country. This is huge news. Now, I think it's a gamble a little bit. They're going to win the PR battle, right? You steal a quarterback from mighty Georgia, number one quarterback recruit. He's coming in apparently because he's been given the green lit or the green light that he'll probably win the starting job. I think that was big for him. While Gunnar Stockton's going to be back in Athens next season, so again, he's not going to as good as he is, or if he is even good in college, remains to be seen. A lot of these five-star quarterbacks never quite live up to it. But if he were to go to Georgia, the best he could do was be the backup to Gunnar next year. Where at Vanderbilt, he is likely going to be their starting quarterback from day one. So we'll see what he can do. And another thing you got to realize in today's modern college football, you may say, well, why the hell? I mean, Vanderbilt's not going to develop him as well as Georgia, which I could disagree with that mightily with the progression Diego Pavia's made. But the point being, he could go to Vanderbilt. He could ball out. He could be awful. He could do anything in between. And then his ass could be right back in the portal and go to Georgia once that starting position opens up. That's just the world we live in. So on that front, I think it makes complete sense. Go somewhere, go to the SEC, play against the best of the best, go somewhere where they can prove they can win at a high level. They can prove that potentially that they can coach you into a Heisman caliber quarterback like they've done Diego Pavia. Man, what a way to kick off the early signing period here, which again, it starts on Wednesday. So if you flip this late, Jared Curtis is planning to sign Wednesday morning. If he does that, he's signed, sealed, and delivered here for Clark Lee and company. Huge week for the Commodores. Clark Lee gets a contract extension, staying in Nashville. Go to Rocky Top, beat the piss out of Tennessee in Knoxville. And hell, I mean, this won't mean anything, but Vanderbilt is out here politicking to make the playoff, as they should. All these teams, Texas should do it. Every team should be politicking to make the playoff. But if I'm Vanderbilt, I'm out here front and center. And again, it's got nothing to do with the current playoff, but I'd be like, hey, we just signed the number one quarterback. You can't deny us. Add this to the list of accomplishments this football season of why Vanderbilt should be taken seriously moving forward, and hell, even now, and why they should make the college football playoff 10-2. What a year for Vanderbilt. And Coach Clark Lee, who now they have secured, if you're just signing on here, he hasn't signed yet. Signing day is tomorrow. But five-star quarterback Jared Curtis has officially flipped from Georgia to them Commodores. Man, what a time to be alive here. You know what? I'm seeing a lot of Sooners in here. The Sooners are fired up. Shout out Chef T-Bird. Cool to see Vandy start to rise. The real question is, do you think their success is sustainable in the SEC? Yeah, why not? I think it is. Now, to win 10 games every year, no, I don't think that's sustainable. I don't think that's sustainable for the vast majority of the SEC programs to do that annually. To flirt with the playoff, though, like, a good example maybe Tennessee that just went 10-2, and then, there's a real danger you could be the next South Carolina, right, where you go 9-3 and then you go 4-8. So, yeah, I mean, you got to win these close games. The games are in the margins. You hear it's coach speak. All these damn coaches are talking about week in, week out how tough the SEC is. And while I don't buy into much coach speak, I do buy into that these conference games, they're almost all coming down to the wire, and it's a play here, a play there. Is the difference between 10-2 and maybe 8-4, 7-5. So, this is a big step in the right direction to being relevant annually, I think, for Vanderbilt, to just showcase they can get these 5-star talents. They can compete with a Georgia on the recruiting trail for the game's most important position. 2 years ago, who would have predicted Vandy today, says Big Ronnie. Clark Lee, I guess. Diego Pavia. And we all laughed at his ass. National championship or bust, they said. Clark Lee did say that when he came here. He said he came here to win a national championship. People mocked his ass. And, he's not there yet, obviously, but they're getting pretty close. Shout out Linos. I don't know how to say her name. Apologies. Could Mizzou extending drink be smart? With all the new coaches, that could be power vacuum where Mizzou rises to the playoff contender. I'd rather have my coach back who's winning at a high level than not, if that's what you're asking. I mean, that's kind of obvious, but I don't think he is some genius coach where they're just going to rise to the rankings, because he's not passed the test the last 2 years. Now, they've been really good at times, but 8-4 with this schedule, with this roster, I don't want to say unacceptable, but well short of expectations. Now, this is where I had you, and you guys were mad at me. But after seeing the 5-0 start, seeing how efficient they were playing, what they had in the running game, how the passing game was working at that time, after the first 5 weeks of the season, 8-4 is hugely disappointing. Because you essentially beat no one with a pulse. But, again, I'm not saying we should run drink off or anything, but he's got to, when he went to the podium and is begging these Fortune 500 companies to get more involved and pay players to get a better roster, that's what they need. They could re-sign Eli Drinkowitz for 100 years. It doesn't matter if they don't have the talent. And they had the talent largely this year, but it didn't come together. Patrick says, Mizzou needs a quarterback. That's why they haven't made the playoff. I mean, that's fair, because I think they have receivers, but they were unable to utilize them. Good tight end, even though he was injured most of the year. Shout out GB Philamo. Picking a shitty place like Vandy over Georgia is insane. We got to get out of this mindset. 5 years ago, was Vanderbilt shitty? Yes. Are they shitty today? Hell no. And if you think that, you're just kind of ignorant and have just not been watching, I guess. It's far from shitty. They have completely turned that thing around. But who knows? We could be sitting here a year from now. Imagine Jared Curtis. What if he's like the best freshman in the country, which his ratings indicate he's of that caliber, and Vanderbilt could be right back in the playoff mix. And if they are next season, we're going to be looking back at today, December 2nd, the day they flipped Jared Curtis away from the mighty Bulldogs, who are on their way to the SEC Championship College Football Playoff, flipping a 5-star quarterback from a place like that. Just credit where credit's due. Clark Lee and company, they're trying to build something that is a long, sustained program here, and they're well on their way to doing it. So I think it's pretty awesome. Again, we mocked Vanderbilt to no end when they were the shittiest shit, and they can't get any fans. And every time they had to host like LSU or Georgia or Tennessee, it's just nothing but the opposing fans. Everybody got mad. When are we kicking Vanderbilt out? Now Vanderbilt's got a pulse, and we're sitting here saying, oh, you shitty shit bags. Why would you ever shit down there? But you can't have it both ways, right? We don't want it to be shitty. We don't want it to drag the conference down. Now that they're legitimate, maybe we should recognize it and tip our cap to it. That's all I'm trying to do here. Those band geeks, appreciate you. Make sure you like and subscribe. Yeah, it's free, and you can always change your mind later. Yeah, that's true. Chicken says Mizzou had the Shane curse all season. He picked him to win. That's true. Shane's been very, very off here. This is another good point from these names are killing me today. Ardvard Mario. He gets his money, leaves Vanderbilt with a degree if all else fails. Well, who knows if he sticks around that long? But if he does, yeah, it's a hell of an accomplishment. Loser baby. What a name. If I was a quarterback with a ceiling of starring in the SEC, I choose Vandy every time for the academic prestige. There you go. Vandy power, baby. And shout out Patrick. Wait, I do not encourage unsubscribing, but you can if you want. You can unsubscribe when they pick against your team, but resubscribe when they double Cousin Kurt's benefits you. Yes, and we just passed 40,000 subscriptions, so I appreciate all the cousins out there for supporting us this football season. We were hoping we'd hit that mark at some point this year, and we did it. We couldn't do it without you, and I am just dumbfounded, clearly, that the dumb part, that we have 40,000 subscribers and growing. So thanks. Shout out to all you for liking, sharing, tuning in all the time. We're just trying to deliver the best SEC content possible, and we appreciate all the support. So anything else? I just wanted to jump on here and tip my cap to old Vanderbilt. I mean, this is huge news here. 5-star quarterback. It's probably the first 5-star quarterback in Vanderbilt history that they've ever gotten, and it's on the eve of their quarterback possibly winning the Heisman Trophy. I mean, how insane is that? Shout out Diego Pavia, or Cole Kublik just posted this. Updated Heisman odds. Diego Pavia, slight favorite right now to win the award. Julian Sayin just behind him. Fernando Mendoza also behind him. So, this is Diego's run out of opportunities to prove his case, while those two quarterbacks will be going head-to-head this Saturday. If either one of them has a really good game, they may very well win it. But if they both have shitty games, then it's Diego's to be had, I would say. And Vanderbilt also just, they tweeted out, believe. So, yeah, they're celebrating this. They can't announce Jared Curtis officially until he actually signs. So, All right, I think that's all. I got to get back to, I was kind of trying to prepare for later. We got Money Marler, not on a Monday, on a Tuesday. He'll be hopping on here in about 3 hours' time, and then we'll be back with Cousin Shane tonight to talk about this and much more here in the SEC. But that's all I got. Just a quick tip of the cap to Vanderbilt for turning this ship around, turning into, on paper, one of the top half teams in the Southeastern Conference. And that may be something that is going to be an annual occurrence if they can get more players like Jared Curtis to sign on the dotted line and play their football in Nashville. But shout out, anchor down. We'll see you here in a couple hours with Money Marler, 3 o'clock Eastern, 2 Central. Until then, bye-bye.
Hey, buddy, this beer's for you, Mike, and Cousin Shane. That SEC podcast loves the Pirate, and the Pirate loves that SEC podcast. Hail State.